ones, but this style is called a sugar skull.
Okay. What's the significance of a sugar skull?
I don't know. Mexican.
Oh my gosh. She like, yeah, you need to learn that. I don't know that shit, bro. Oh, you need to learn it, not me. I'm good.
Why? I don't live there anymore. I don't live there anymore. And I'm not married. Well,
no, that's you. That's
married.
You talking to me. You like
technically I'm still married to a Mexican, but
what? You just gonna skim over that?
I am still technically married.
Oh my gosh.
We have not even been in the same state since November
I don't care.
2015.
You out here trying to give your booty. I mean, hold on, we live. You out here trying.
Well, he's expecting another child. He has a girlfriend. He has a girlfriend, and they're expecting a child. By the way, my first husband my first husband is also expecting a child. So both of my husbands are expecting children.
That sounds so
At
horrible.
At the same time.
He says both of my husbands are expecting children. That's so horrible. That's so horrible. Yeah. I'm sorry for you, man.
Let me get Diesel. Where are you, Diesel?
I mean, I'm not jealous or sad about it because my first husband is 43 years old and about to have a little baby. Sucks to be him. And then my second one, he's 39. Like, I could not imagine. No.
Okay. Anyway, guys, let's start the show. Can we start the show?
I'm not jealous.
Yeah, we
let's start the show, okay? And let's talk about these things during the thing. In 3, 2, 1, go. What's going on, my six YouTubers, and welcome back to Rickito365. My name is Rick, and this is your channel, guys. Today, with me, to my left, Lisa Escobedo and Mark Letrain, guys. What's going on? Today, we're going to be talking about President Trump and the executive order that he signed on student loans. So, some of you guys might be a little bit worried about, what's going to happen, throughout these, difficult times. But he can clutch, he signed it, it's law. And guess what, guys? No payments until December the 31st. And in addition, 0% APR, guys. In this panel, both myself and Diesel, we are students. We don't fall under this kind of student loans yet, but who knows? If we continue doing education, at some point our veterans, incentives are going to end. And then if you want to do your PhD or your second master's, you probably have to incur into some of those things. But, he's not only doing it for veterans. He's not only doing it for Republicans. He's not only doing it for people who will vote for him, but he's doing it for every American in the United States. So just want to break it down to you guys. No payments until December 31st. Vote Trump 2020.
Okay, first and foremost,
what we thinking, guys? What's going on?
Let me be the voice of reason here. Okay,
go ahead.
How is everybody doing today? How is everyone doing? Because apparently, whenever Rick talk about whenever he get on that Trump pedestal, boy, he just let come on, man. Hey, introduce this. How is everybody doing?
I am doing let's go, Lisa, because I've been talking so much. Lisa, go ahead.
How you doing, Lisa?
Well, I wasn't feeling too well earlier today, so I'm a little tired, but I'm cool.
Okay.
Well,
Wait, how hot is it over there?
Very hot, and on top of that, it's been like thunderstorms for a week, and apparently it's supposed to be thunderstorms all week.
Okay, good. I mean, well, I guess just stay inside, stay safe, right? Oh man, what a yawn! What a yawn!
I'm sorry. It's because I'm tired. It's
Rick, how you been, Rick?
I gotta be very, very honest to you. I've been doing I've been doing pretty good. President Trump, thank you so much for what you're doing for us.
Please let the man suffer.
You know, one second, let's President Trump,
Hey,
you have done so great things for us. No payments, no student loan payments until December 31st. So, amen.
Okay. Well, I'm
Amen.
doing good. Thank you for my co-host for asking. I'm doing pretty well. I played hooky on one of these days. You know, I have my little moments. Still transitioning, so it is still rough on a veteran here, but I am making it. Thanks for the tutelage of good people in my life. Ricky, I have some. I want to give a shout out to the closer. I had a very good conversation with him. I think he came on to the chat probably last week.
Good.
We had a very in-depth conversation on what we were talking about, the topics. He's definitely in tune. I hope he's tuning in now. If not, I'm gonna give him a call. And Joey Ceballos, I want to give a big up to him. Joey Ceballos, good battle buddy of mine. These guys are awesome. If you guys need anything, you know where I'm at. But besides that, let's get into the Trump thing, man. So the loans, you don't have to pay until December, but do you have to back pay now? Like all the months that you didn't pay, do you now have to pay it?
That is a negative ghostwriter. No. So that's why he set up the APR for the to 0%. So it's not just the student loans. I mean, there's more things on the executive order. You know, we're gonna talk about it in a second. But far as student loans, from now until December 31st, no payments. And in addition to that, 0% APR. So in the past, this has been done to some individuals, but then they will still incur on their APR. So they tell you, oh, you don't have to make payments, but your interest rate is going to continue going. But President Trump, since he is again, like I say, he's the OG. You know, President Trump is the OG. Got to get that music. You know, he just came clutch. He can clutch.
Lisa,
go ahead.
is this not a stunt for him to get reelected?
I have no opinion on this matter.
Oh.
I am not someone with student loans, so I have zero interest in the zero interest.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, for my opinion, I think this is a ploy. Once again, he signed 4, right? 4 executive orders, correct?
Correct.
It was student loans. What was the other 3?
So the first one that he signed for is the he delays. The first one is on tax payroll. Okay, for anybody making under 100,000. I don't know the exact number, but anybody making under $100,000 from now until December 31st under this I'm sorry, I don't want to say that name. Under the under the Nana virus, you know, $104,000. They will not have to make any
the grandma virus.
They won't have to pay any payroll taxes from September the 1st until December the 31st. Okay, I mean, clutch with that. You know, you will still have to pay your Social Security, your FICO. You know. No, not your FICO. Just your deduction from your tax. That was the first one. The second one, unemployment aid to all those guys out there unemployed, you know?
But he said $400 though, not $600.
Well, it's better to have 400 than no 100 because under Nancy Pelosi, that deal maker, you know, she is the I'm telling you, that's how they call her. On you know, under Nancy Pelosi, the deal maker. Guess what happened, guys? No money because she was not able to close the deal. She was not able to close the deal. Trump did. That's the second thing. You know, the 400 extra dollars. You know, the thing that we have are evictions, which I mean that's another one coming clutch, man. You know, I don't know if you guys realize, but in the 1st of August. People were leaving California by the hundreds because people were told you can stay in these homes in California until the end of July without paying rent and without being evicted, you know. But then as soon as the money, you know, came short, people were like, for August the 1st, we're gonna evict you from your house, and what the law allowed those homeowners to do was to not just kick you out of the house, but everything that you leave inside the house becomes their possession. You know, like you were losing all your property. You know, so I mean, to me, I think that, you know, by President Trump allowing Americans to stay with a home, with a shelter until December the 31st. He did an amazing job. I like this video so far. And then the last thing is the student loans. So
did you say you like this video?
I'm liking this video. I think it's because I'm listening myself talk with my I'm so sorry. I'm being honest, you know. I gotta be honest, you know.
So all right, when is election?
Election will
the same time it is every 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that November time?
Hopefully that happens, you know. Hopefully that happens. Yeah.
So the question I have, right, is if he signs the bill,
okay,
and doesn't get elected, couldn't Biden just say, "Oh yeah, by the way, this is null and void"? Just like how when a commander takes over a new post, he can agree to what was already SOP.
He don't take the White House until January. So yeah, no.
Well, no. So an executive order versus signing a bill are two different things. So Biden can't take back a bill being signed. A president signing a bill is signing something into law. The only thing to change a law is another law. So Biden cannot just change a law. He can't just say, "Oh no, we're not going to do that anymore."
So
the Congress would have the Congress would then have to go back and create a new law that null and voids the other law or change.
So he can't change an executive order.
He can change an executive order, yes, but he cannot change a law. So if it's a bill that was signed, he can't do it. But if it was an executive order, he can.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe my vernacular, I misspoke. So not a bill. If Trump signs the executive order.
And I wasn't paying attention to the earlier part of the conversation.
Wow, thanks, Lisa. I care for you too. But anyways,
I told you I don't feel very well.
It's all good. You look astonishing. You look like you're blossoming. You're blossoming. Anyways, no, if Trump signs an executive order, according to Lisa, well, according to the facts, right? Because Lisa is our fact finder, that Biden can go back and say, you know what, we're not listening to this executive order if he gets elected, correct?
That's what Trump did to all of the things that Obama did.
See, so we're all hype about this executive order, but it's only going to be tentative or good if Trump gets elected. And we don't know if he's getting elected because apparently Mr. 28% of all Hispanics over here.
Oh, now we're up to 28%.
Hey, you know, hey, we going up. Every day we're going up. Every pound Ricky loses, we go up 5%.
No. I mean, I don't think that you guys are aware that the elections are not until the end of November, and then the president won't take the White House until January. You know, so by the time that Biden gets to the White House, this Trump, thing, because everything ends on December the 31st. By then, it's done.
Smart. Okay.
I mean, let me tell you guys are talking about Biden, and then you brought the topic about voting. Okay, so I'm gonna show you something. There's a video behind you guys right now, playing, and I want you guys to tell me if anybody out there,
yeah, I want somebody to call up.
will vote for an individual. I mean, just imagine that I go, in the grandstand, and then I'd be like, I'm running for president, and you heard me talk. Are you gonna vote for me for presidente? No. You know, it's of the United States. No, probably not. 100% not. Let me pass the mic to Biden. Okay, just listen to this guy.
0.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happened? 0.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift.
Okay, guys. So tell me, I don't know if you're listening to this thing. I don't know if you're replaying. I mean, I can play one more. I can play this thing all night long. I mean, I'm sorry. If you voted for this guy, man, I'm telling you, man. If America vote for this guy, I mean, they deserve it.
Okay. I'm going to tell you now that people are going to vote for him.
Of course.
Nobody cares. Right now, it's just a vote against Trump. And
Correct.
that is the climate that we live in. And that's why I suspect that Biden might actually win.
Hey, so first of all.
Take me if you want.
It was Amy.
I've seen it happen.
Amy says she'll vote Ricky over Biden any day.
Oh, thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm gonna put it to you this way, and then let me tell you why Black Lives Matter. And then I'm changing the subject. Black Lives Matter was the worst thing that happened to the Democratic Party in 2020. 100%. Okay, because Black Lives Matters brought awareness of people watching through social media what was happening on the streets. Okay. And then when you seen the thing out there running around on social media calling the silent majority, okay? The silent majority is almost 80%, okay? 80% of 300,000. I mean, Trump doesn't need the black vote. Zero.
Gosh.
Trump doesn't need, but half of the Hispanic vote, okay? Okay, and half of the white vote, okay? Half of the white vote, half of the Hispanics, he's president. And let me tell you something. The Electoral College, once it comes to the Electoral College, I don't know if you understand about the Electoral College, but I am counting on those men and women to vote Trump. 100%. It's done.
Okay.
It's done.
Lisa,
I
please
cannot
help me.
stand it. I can't stand it when people say the silent majority. It is a concept that literally makes no sense. If they are silent, then how do you know that they're the majority?
I mean, they're silent because they're not in social media right now.
I hate when people use that phrase.
They're silent because they're not out there in social media doing live streams every day.
Dude, if they're silent, you don't know who they are. Therefore, you don't know if they're the majority. They are silent.
Lisa, I don't know if you understand. Well, I know you do. But there's 200 million people that they categorize themselves as white Caucasians that are registered to vote. Okay. Now let's talk about black Americans registered to vote. How many of them?
Do you know how many people register to vote every year just because it's something that happens
how many?
Regularly just by renewing their driver's license? But they don't actually go vote.
Okay. I don't know if I'm the only one that sees the big numbers right here, but 200 million white Americans registered to vote. Okay, 30 million black Americans.
That doesn't mean that's how many people are going to go vote.
Just think about the numbers. Who's gonna vote Democrat?
I'm thinking about the numbers. I know what the numbers are. But just because someone is registered to vote, because there are many things that you do that you also, by not paying attention, check a box to also register to vote. Just because somebody registers to vote doesn't mean they're actually going to go vote.
Okay, but if you have, okay, let me tell you something. Okay, you have a big bucket, you know, a big bucket, and you have 10 apples in your hands, and you throw 10 apples to the air, and you pull the bucket out. You got more chances of getting more apples into the bucket if you threw 10 apples into the air than if you threw 3. It's just simple math.
But that doesn't mean that those people are going to vote for Trump.
I'm just saying.
Just because somebody is not talking or have a bumper sticker or, you know, do a poll, it doesn't mean that they're going to vote for Trump. Some people may not like either and just decide to stay home or not mail in their ballot.
So
your people keep talking about a silent majority that it doesn't make any sense. If they are silent, you do not know who they are, nor do you know who they're going to vote for.
Perfect. So you
can't poll them if they're silent.
So on that point, let's talk about.
Hey, hold on. I can agree with that. I can agree. If they're silent, then we don't know about them. They must have broke their silence.
That is just some hype. That is some hype and some imaginary hope. That is manufactured hype.
That's how you see it, yeah. That's how you see it. That's how you see it. So let me tell you why they call Trump supporters silent majority. Okay, Prager U. Okay, Prager U is one of the biggest organizations, you know, supported by by conservative Republicans in America who just got banned from Twitter. Do you know why they got banned from Twitter?
Who cares? What does it have to do with silent majority?
so you know, every video that we post out there, you know, because they probably CC everything that I'm saying. I don't know how, because I have a very thick accent, but somehow if you click on CCs on this video, you will see like words of what I'm saying right now, because because we have so much of our content is conservative, all our videos being demonetized. Okay, so let me tell you more. That's when I talk about the silent majority, I'm talking about people who goes on social media, who post something, and then who click share, and then that share maybe got to their friends, and that's it, you know. But anybody, if I go out there, you know, every time that last night I did a video on Portland, and I just put Portland protesters, nothing else, you know, and I got over 700 views in 2 hours. You see, why is that? Because the AI, because the machine that is running that social media, every time they see something that is liberal, every time they see something that is, you know, targets to, you know, to promote these kind of mentalities, they're going to promote it. But when you talk something conservative, they're going to be like, no, you can see it and your friends might be able to see it, but that's it. They're not going to put the extra cent, you know, and it's all based AI. It's all based on AI. That's why they call people like this the silence.
What does that have to do with the imaginary silent majority?
That's what it's called, silent majority. Every time you put something on social media, nobody can see it but you and your mother and your kids. You know, because we're being silenced.
Okay, but everybody is not putting stuff on the internet. I don't understand what you're getting at.
So let's do an experiment, okay? Put, you know, in social media and Facebook, put I support Trump, and then oh no, it's not going to work. So let me.
I would never put that, because you know that I all politicians are the same. I do not go out of my way to support any politician.
Okay. So in my Facebook account, I have a business Facebook account for RT365 that gave me metrics. If I put something that says I support Trump and I click share, maybe 30, 40 people will see you know, the reach. When you share something on public, their reach will be 40, 50 people. But if I put I support Biden, the reach will be 700, 800. That's why I'm calling people like myself part of the silent majority. Go ahead, Diesel.
So that's just social engineering. I mean, that's the bot. That is a real thing, what you're talking about. A lot of things are being flagged because the big brother or whatever, but it's called social engineering. And if you guys want the definition of social engineering, hold on.
For the people, I know it's social engineering.
For the people is the use of centralized planning in an attempt to manage social change and regulate the future development and behavior of the society. So If you're talking to conservative, they say, hey, you know what? You go into this little bubble. You know, we don't want to hear that. We want you to talk about the Kardashians. So what he's saying is real, but what does that have to do with the silent majority? That's what I'm on Lisa's side here.
Hey,
Yeah, no, that's the point. That's
a
the
little
point.
side note. A little side note. A basic thing of social engineering that we all encounter every single day is when the Department of Transportation has those funny little things, LED signs about buckling up. Do you guys ever see that on the highway?
We do.
They always
That's
say
social
something cute or
engineering?
funny.
Yeah.
That's social engineering.
I mean, Diesel, the point that comes.
Well, I was talking about social engineering.
That's a basic form of social engineering that we all encounter every single day.
Well, if you guys ever want to see, that's good. I didn't know that, Lisa. But if you guys ever want to see social engineering at its best, you Google something, the same thing, and I'll Google the same thing, and you will see two different results pop up because it's based off of what your Google history is. So what Google does is puts the algorithm and it puts what they think you want to see. And they'll put that in front of you.
And it's not regulated by the FDC. Not regulated by the FDC. None of the algorithms. So I just received a phone call here. Let me take a quick look. I received a phone call from where are you? From a number that ends on 0202. Please give us a call. Again, I wasn't able to listen to your phone call, okay? Last 40202. So I mean that's the whole point about social majority, the silent majority. I think that that I explained kind of my case a little bit, but I mean I want to tell you something. Can I tell you something else?
I think it's an assumption. I think it's an assumption that the majority of voters not only are going to vote for Trump, but they are being silenced. I think that is that is
that is a fact. That is a fact.
Because how can you prove it if they're silent?
Well,
I think the term or the phrase "silent majority" is manufactured hype from the right.
and that's fine, but that's
social
fine.
Engineering, like click it before you tick it.
Yeah, and that's fine that you have that you're thinking that way. But I got to tell you, I mean, for somebody, it makes sense to me when I heard the term silent majority, what they're talking about, and then when I see how the social media mother is doing to people like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and Twitter, saying you can say yes, that kind of makes sense. But anyway, let me tell you something real quick. I want to make back to the topic of today with the music on the background. I want you guys to know that Trump signed an executive order, okay, where four executive orders, in which of those executive orders, guys, none of your student loans will have to be paid. The payroll tax is going to be effective from 1 September to 31st December. No evictions, and we want you guys to vote November. Vote.
So here's my problem with the no evict. Well, it's the closing down, America is a huge problem. People are like, yay, we don't have to pay our rent. Woo! But here's the problem. There are lots of people who own property that rent it out. And well, they still have bills associated with that. And if they're not collecting rent, if they're not collecting bills, and everybody just thinks, oh, well, those are big, huge realtor companies, so they have money. And that's not true. A lot of property owners are just people who own an extra property. My parents owned 2 homes at the same time for a while. What happened is they bought a house and then they had another house built. And they decided to try being landlords. My parents are not rich people. They just had this other property and they wanted to try the whole tenant landlord thing out. If this would have happened during the time that they owned that property, my parents would have been screwed, like big time screwed. So I don't necessarily agree with all of this stuff. To me, people are just only looking at the short term and only a certain group of people, and not actually looking at the long term and the country as a whole. And that is what a president and a Congress should be doing.
Yeah, you got to think about that. This is just Trump helping people from eviction. It doesn't tell you that you don't have to go pay any rent. Okay, but if you are into eviction, if you are on your eviction month, they cannot evict you.
What is the consequence of somebody not paying rent?
That's up to
eviction. So if that is no longer a consequence, what do you think people are going to do?
So they're gonna fall under that, okay? But so if you don't start paying,
rent.
So if you don't, so this is the thing, okay? So I live in a house, okay? And then Trump passed this rent, this eviction, and it's not an eviction moratorium. It's just they just call it, this kind of help coronavirus, whatever. So what happened? Let's say that I'm rented in a house, and then August came. And then I don't pay August, okay? And then the homeowner be like, okay, you don't pay August. Then September comes, I don't pay September. Okay, you owe me 2 months. And then November comes, oh, you owe me 3 months. So right now, if you put a down payment or if you put those monies are gone, And December comes and you don't pay December. And then, oh no, Trump puts this law, it ends on December 31st. If in January 1st, you don't pay me for those 4 months, then I start your eviction process, And you still owe me 4 months. Is going to go against your credit, So okay, which part we're not getting right here?
That's not how people think. People think, well, Trump said this is exactly what people are going to think. They're not going to say, oh, well, I'm not going to get evicted. No, they're going to say, well, Trump said I didn't have to pay my rent, because that's how people think.
No,
people don't say, oh, well, I'm not going to get evicted. People say.
People can think whatever they want,
That's how people
but
think.
it comes down to the facts.
You can't just think for all people. You can think for what you think, how you think they present. I think I think Ricky is right that it will go against the credit and stuff, but I also think that Lisa's right is there. Trump, all right, this is what I think. Trump is doing this to get the vote of the middle class people or the people that can't pay their rent. Okay. And then he's probably going to put a little bill or executive order to bail out the businesses. He's going to do that. He's known to do that. So this is just a ploy just to give us something to talk about and something to make him seem as if he's for the people, because we all know Trump is a businessman. And not paying anybody is bad for business, period.
This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. If you live in the America that I live, because I live in this America. I live in America where people wake up in the morning and go to work. Okay. I live in the America where if you don't have a job, you search for a job until you get it. Okay. I live in the America that every time the government does something good for you, you back up the government. Okay. And this is the America where Trump. This is the America where Trump has the lowest unemployment rate on Black and Hispanics, okay? And when we're talking about that, we're not talking about, change people. We're talking about over 70 million people. 70 million people. So if you're not on board with me, if you're not on board with what I'm saying, I'm okay with you, If you don't care about that, I'm okay with you. If you want to continue, if you want your city be run like Chicago, hey, go ahead, vote for Biden. If you want your city be run by Chaz on the Summer of Love in Seattle, go vote for Biden. I don't care if you don't care, understand the dude, the guy. By the way, if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't Hispanic, okay? Because that's the next thing he's gonna say, Oh no, that's not what he say. No, he say that if you don't vote for him, you're not Black. That's exactly what he said, And he say that to the Jesus God. What's his name?
Charlemagne. He says Charlemagne the God. Yeah.
Charlemagne the God. He's not Jesus. He's just the God.
Charlemagne, as in the Roman emperor, who
he's a TV show.
I think he brought Christianity to Eastern Europe.
He's a host on the breakfast show. But I got what you're saying, Lisa.
Sure, he is a Roman.
I thought that he was the Jesus, not the God.
Or maybe like French. He's some emperor. French, Rome, one of them.
Anyway,
I always get him confused with Constantine.
I'm just saying, I understand what you have to see that this is such a political move by Trump, the non-political man. This is a power move. When everyone, he is
political.
so
he's a politician.
I don't
but
get what you're saying,
he
man.
says, "Oh, I'm the
He's a politician."
He says, "Oh, I think he had a quote or something like saying that he's the first time he started or ran for politician, he became president." And that's what he like.
I say won, not ran, but won.
Oh, no, but the first time he ran for president, the first time he ran for presidency, he became a president. That's what he was saying. He's like, I'm not a politician, but I became president. That's how good I am. That's something he said. So he doesn't look at himself as a politician. He looks at himself as a businessman. And now he's doing a political move because he's trying to get reelected. I got you. We are reaping the benefits. Some people are, okay? But what I'm saying is the majority of the people,
who's reaping the benefits?
Power, the big businesses, he probably has a deal working in the backside for them.
Who is reaping the benefits, Diesel?
The ones that don't have to pay the student loans.
Diesel, who is the unemployment? Who is the unemployed majority? Numbers.
Well,
who are these people?
I don't agree with any of this.
Black and Hispanic,
bro. I don't agree with any of this.
I'm looking at the chat, Ridge, right? So Ridge says, I have been out of work and waiting to return. So the unemployment part helps me out. I've been working doing medical transportation for the elderly, and I don't know with this blank stuff if we are ever going to return. So people like Ridge are benefiting from this, which I understand. This is a trying time. They're benefiting from this. But what I'm saying is I'm running the devil advocate, and I'm saying that there's something in the works that we don't see. Because Trump is not just the Mr. Generous, bro. I'm just going to do this.
Bro, man, this man, since this man got into the White House, let me tell you something. He's been working. He hasn't been working as a Republican. I mean, of course, he loves his party, but he hasn't been just pushing as his Republican agenda, okay? You know which agenda he's been pushing? He's been pushing the agenda of more jobs for Americans, my 401k. My 401k is not just double, but 2.5% increase over the whole year last year, under Trump, okay? I don't know if you guys, putting your money in your 401k, but I put my money over my 401k. I put the maximum I can. My company matches it, up to X amount of money. And guess what? I am loving it. So if you're working and you're thinking on that, and you're paying taxes, because taxes pay for everything on this country, you're doing great under Trump. You're doing great. Why are you going to, so you're telling me that just because this man is doing this right now, also making deals to make sure that blacks and Hispanics have reached maximum lowest numbers in unemployment, that was a political move as well? Was that a political move?
So, first of all, I would probably move things in my 401k to bonds and not the stock market before the election. And then if Trump wins, move it back.
So there's some.
You want to save your money. And secondly, I don't agree with any of this stuff because it costs so much money. Trump and all of these policies and all of these handouts and whatever deal you think he may have that's going to bail out businesses, all of that is going to tank our economy. So truly, at this point, it doesn't matter if Biden wins or Trump wins.
I don't think that the way that you're thinking about these deals are coming to fruition right now. I'm going to tell you that as an individual myself, okay, ex-military, just retired last year, year and a half ago. I have something that helps me more than I have options that other people don't have. Okay, if you're in the military, listen to this. So comes the 1st of November. Okay?
Enjoy them while you can.
Listen, everybody on the military use something called 401k. Okay, myself, Diesel, we were we were introduced to the military under the something called TSP. Okay, so if I have any money right now, I can transfer that money to the TSP, which is by the far the largest and the most secure 401k in the United States. The only thing I need to do is put all my money on my G fund. So come November the 1st, I will send an email with a form to Fidelity, telling Fidelity the 670 whatever money I got on the 401, I want them to be wired directly to the TSP, and then I will give instructions to the TSP to put it on my G fund, and then I will because I'm kind of Puerto Rican guy, listen to this, and because I'm kind of smart, I'd be like, and then I just want to put everything into that. How many times can you do that a year? Twice. You've been thinking about that? No, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about that since 2 years ago. Okay, because America, people in America happen, they're flammable, that can erupt, whatever the case. Let me tell you something, guys. You can do up to twice a year, okay? So I'm going to put all my 401 money on TSP. It will be on the G fund, which is the most secure thing that we have in America, okay? And then I just wait, Elections are going to come, results are going to come, and guess what? Trump is going to win. Let me tell you again. Let me put the music. Trump is going to win, okay? And then December the 1st, I will transfer all my money from my TSP back into my 401k, no penalties, no nothing, just a smart, retired, combat veteran. God damn it. That's got to be a good video, man.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So
I like the music.
So anyways,
yeah,
let's want you to know that at some point the bill has to be due. Somebody's going to have to pay for all of this at some point in time. The government is currently spending an exuberant amount of money.
Say that again. Say that again.
An exuberant amount of money. And prosperity is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to hurt a little. So if the government wants to be stupid enough to shut it down, then I don't mean to be mean, but the people either need to, yell at them to get it reopened or endure the hardship. This is going to tank our country's economy, period. The bill has to be paid at some point.
What do you say about that, Rick?
I think Lisa got a good point, but Lisa, sorry to cut you short. I have a caller on the line. Kuomi, are you there? Hopefully,
yeah, that's my guy.
That's your guy, Kuomi. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show. Go ahead, man. Mike is yours.
Just curious, you're just speaking about the performance of your 401k and how it's been great. I'm just curious, how did it do this year? And if you believe so much in the American society, why are you dumping your funds before an election? Is it a fear of you think that he's not actually going to win and you feel like it's going to go in the opposite direction? What exactly are you saying when you're saying that you're going to do these tactics to move your money around?
So let me be a little bit of technical. I'm going to talk about TSP that hopefully some of you guys get it. But if no, let me know in the comment section below. Send me a question. I'll be able to probably shout to you over Messenger, whatever the case may be. Because our job here is to help people. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I believe that if Biden wins, which there's a chance that he might win. Who knows? I think that the stock market will plummet. Okay, because right now.
What's your reasoning for that? Yeah, sorry, you're answering.
Yeah.
I just want to know what's the basis of that understanding. Yeah.
So right now we have a president who is pro a specific type of businesses, and then we are giving different countries a special treatment based on things that those countries provide to us. Also, we have some tariff into other places around the globe that that we don't have to pay. Okay, but now if we change from the the Trump administration to the Biden administration, that single month right there, okay, without making any changes, without making any move of money, without making any laws, okay, the stock market gets very scary. Okay, I'm not saying the stock market itself, but investors on the stock market, and everybody start doing exactly what I'm doing, pulling your money out. You know, so
all right.
the
Do you
stock
have
market.
an understanding that the stock market right now is based off of speculation, and that it's only actually up now because the Fed stepped in? Everybody's reporting negative profits from the second quarter on. And that they pumped $1 trillion into the economy. Do you understand?
Those are personal opinions, rather.
So when Democrats,
personal opinion,
when Democrats win an election,
what he's saying.
The stock
Show me the
market
numbers.
has a hiccup.
That's not a personal
when
opinion.
Republicans win an election, the stock market has a positive effect.
So
that always happens
I'm not even talking about
after an
that
election. I'm not
perspective.
saying that it's
show me the numbers.
but there's always
Right
a
now.
big hit.
I'm talking about the effect of it right now and how the stock market has been performing since COVID has hit and why it's been sustaining its value. That's what we're talking about.
But your question was why would he move his money around, and why would there be an issue if Biden won?
He shouldn't have confidence in the market now.
A Democrat
He shouldn't have confidence in the market.
The
shouldn't have
stock market will take a hit. It always does.
I'm saying he shouldn't.
Democrats in the stock market, they don't like each other.
From a financial, if he's speaking from a logical financial standpoint, he should be moving his money now, because there isn't any evidence now that the economy is actually doing well.
Oh, well, that's up to him.
Exactly.
I just think he should do
Why
it
would he-
definitely
why
before,
is he
definitely
basing
before
it
the
off of
election.
fallacy?
I
We're
want
talking
my
about the
money,
way
so
it
move
is
it
right
down.
now.
That's what he said.
So let me okay, we're gonna turn a little bit. I'm changing a couple screens on my computer right here. Do we know about do you know, I'm not trying to put him on the spot, but
no, he knows. He knows.
Put me on the spot.
That's my
okay.
man.
Okay, so let's talk about after President Trump. After President Trump sent the executive order, what was the change of the stock market? Just give me the number.
What are you talking about today?
After President Trump signed the executive order. Tell me the point blue numbers.
Didn't he sign that? Oh, hold on, let me look.
Just,
Let's look.
go ahead.
Let's not be. The Dow Jones is up 1.3. S&P is up a 27 hundredth of a point, and the Nasdaq is down 3.9.
I can go to Yahoo and look at stock market, and then I will get the same information. But since President Trump signed the executive order, sparked a 357 points. 357 points. So every time this man makes a change, okay, I mean, the stock market goes up. You know what happened with Tesla?
Let's speak about your executive orders.
Oh, come on! I thought no. 1 second. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, okay? But Tesla rival Nikola. Okay, the rival of Tesla, Nikola. What was the search on Nikola?
Wait.
Nikola didn't happen.
There's a rival called Nikola?
22%.
Hold on.
22%. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about. I'm done.
Happened because, hold on, the surge on Nikola happened because they got a contract. For
Bro, I look at my money every day. I look at my money every day. I look at the stock market every day, and I don't think that you know your facts.
I invested Nikola, so I'm telling you 100% that the surge in Nikola happened today because they got a contract to make 2,500 garbage trucks, and that's why the surge on Nikola happened today. You're doing it because of a fantasy that you think that it had to do with an executive order. It had zero to do with the executive order and 100% to do with the contract that they got signed today. So one has nothing to do with the other. And you can look that up. And the people in the comments, you can look that up.
I'm done.
You can be done.
I will
pure speculation. 100% speculation, you know? 100% speculation.
That Tesla truck was ugly.
That's not speculation.
That Tesla truck was horrible, but I can't believe I never heard of Nikola. I mean, I know who Nikola Tesla is.
You know who?
I've never heard of Nikola.
But when somebody,
I don't know who Nikola Tesla is. He's like literally one of my favorite people in history.
No, I said you know who that is. That's what I'm saying.
I'm about to say.
I'm an electrician by trade. I know exactly who Nikola Tesla is. But you see how somebody who doesn't know could easily be swayed by his opinion. But the fact is that they did get a contract, and that's why it raised today. And your executive orders are very, very, very,
They
very
got
shaky.
like off-roading vehicles, jet skis.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on their website,
That
and I'm
happened
like,
today.
dang, these look sick.
I dumped 1,000 on them today. So I'm not going to.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. These look
Listen,
1,000 times better than Teslas.
no, not necessarily. They got a long way to go,
look.
but they're doing well.
I said, look.
I think
doing well,
I think
but they
I
have a
think
long
I
way
think
to
that
go.
I'm the
I'm
only
talking about
person
their
in this
appearance. I'm talking about their
in this panel
I'm not a
who
car
knows
person.
nothing
I don't know
about
anything about
the
that.
coronavirus stock market rally. Probably I'm the only one, you know.
No,
Probably
you're saying
I'm
it's
the
a
only
rally,
one.
But you got to be careful with the rallies because there was a rally in 2008 too, based off of false information and stipulation and stimulation. So you have to be careful when you say these things. You have to understand when you start looking at the earnings per shares and the reports that are coming back, like what happened with Workhorse today, a 1,500% negative loss that was expected to be 0.08 came back at $1.76 negative per share. You see, that's a negative loss. That's a direct impact of the second quarter impact of COVID. That's what's starting to come out now that the third quarter is up. You're starting to see the real effect of COVID, not a speculative effect, not what brokers on the thing were saying, oh, we're going to recover. They're speculating on recovery and the recovery hasn't come, But I'd like to speak about your executive orders. I'd like to talk about that.
I think that we have a bunch of different opinions, and then
I don't think I'm talking about
putting my 2 cents here, Just remember this. Remember what I say about your 401k. If you're military, remember what I say about how to move your money in November. And don't forget to listen to both myself and what was your name again? Kwame. Okay.
Kwame.
Just listen to both points of view. Go ahead. You want to talk about the executive orders?
Final thoughts, guys. Let me get the final thoughts.
Are you in a positive? Yeah. I just want to speak about the executive orders. Each one, actually, in your opinion on each one, so we could discuss how it affects the actual people that he signed. We could start with the payroll tax. Do you know the facts of that executive order?
No, that's
the actual people working.
That's why we have you here today. Go ahead. Come on, give us something.
All right. From my understanding, that the executive order cuts the payroll tax, but not for the actual people working, and it doesn't actually do it for the people working. It does it for the employers, so that they don't have to pay their portion. So no individual person is actually getting a benefit from that. That's my understanding of that. The 6.7% is not from the employee's paycheck. It's the match that the employers are supposed to pay. So there's actually no benefit.
Underlining, he's a snake. He's a snake in the bush.
How is he a snake?
I'm not even going as far as that, but I don't want the perception of what something is to confuse you of what it really is.
Thank you.
Yes, it will benefit people under 100,000, but should you cap that
104,000, 104,000,
104,000, you're going to be liable for those taxes.
So most people make that under 104,000. There's not a great number of people who make more than that. So
but here's the thing: the
really
people aren't
misinformation or untruth, or as Diesel said, make him a snake.
The employers.
I mean,
businesses are benefiting. The relief is going to businesses.
But wait a minute, you just said it affects people who make less than 104,000.
104,000 from the business perspective. When your employee grosses that amount, you don't have to pay the payroll tax up to that amount. That doesn't benefit the employee itself. That employee is still liable.
So hold on. So let's say somebody makes $50,000. Does the individual who's making $50,000 still have to pay payroll tax?
Yes.
So regardless, employees will always have to pay payroll tax.
That's correct.
Me as an individual, I still have to pay it.
You always pay it. You don't have a choice to pay it if you're an employee and you pay and they do a 1099 or they do your taxes for you. It's going to come out of your check. This benefit goes to the employer. The relief goes there so that they don't have to use their funds to supplement what they're supposed to be matching.
Okay, so let me ask you something, because not everybody employers pay their half, because that's a benefit from being in some working for some companies. The majority of the people.
Most companies pay your payroll tax. They do.
Majority of the people do, but not everybody will benefit as you're saying. There's a lot of people who are 1099s who will benefit from this.
That's 1099.
Yes.
Well, how does the executive order?
Okay.
I've been a 1099 for 5 years. I'm back to not being a 1099. So.
I mean, you just got to think about it. We need to ensure that the Social Security is still going. We need to ensure that Medicare is still going. We need to make sure that
what the tax is.
we need to ensure that things like that are continue. I mean, we cannot just. I mean,
I know what it is.
Cut, Ricky.
What kind of world are we gonna? What kind of world are we gonna bring if I don't pay my part of the taxes?
You're paying your part of the tax.
I think it's.
Your employer is not.
I think it's fine for businesses to have this exception during this time, because without the businesses, then there would not be any employees. So I'm okay
But the long-term effect of it is that Social Security gets affected.
But I'm just overall, like, I'm okay with that logic. But overall, I'm against all of these executive orders.
Okay, hold on. What were you saying again? A closer. What'd you say again?
What were you saying? Sorry.
No, you got stepped on. You got stepped on. So say again.
I don't even remember, to be honest. I did have a point. I don't even recall.
Okay. So what's the next one? What's the next executive order?
Oh yeah, that's what the point was. The tax that he actually cut was the Medicare and Social Security tax.
Okay.
That's what the employers are matching. So the employees don't have to pay that. Only employees are paying. So that's half of the benefits going in, which ultimately means in the long term that those funds are going to get depleted.
They're already going to get depleted. So I think that Medicare is going to be bankrupt.
But if you have a working majority.
So who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's not about who cares. That's irresponsible.
10 years
that's
earlier.
Irresponsible.
It totally doesn't matter.
If your parents are getting Social Security, if your parents are taking Social Security and the fund is being depleted because preferential treatment was given to businesses and it's not fair across the board, you don't stop the funding to the fund. You're speeding up the end of it. You're making that 2036 date come a lot closer than it should be by doing this.
Yeah, but it's not going to be that. It's not going to be like next year. So it's going to be 5 years shorter or 10 years shorter.
Permanent.
Big whoop.
He's trying to make it permanent.
that doesn't make a difference.
Who? I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does.
That's not a big deal. That makes zero difference.
It is a big deal because when things like
that's
COVID
not a
happen,
big deal. Something ending 10 years earlier is not a big deal.
It is a big deal.
That's not supposed to end to never end. So it ending 5 years earlier, 10 years earlier is not a big deal.
Well,
I mean, I think that we're going back to the social engineering part that we're talking about. Based on what you're looking into social media, you may get news about what Trump is doing is going to help the economy. But if you're looking at other things, be a Trump payroll tax will destroy Social Security. So we are not there yet. I don't think that nobody in this panel have all the facts in their hands. I don't have them in my hands, But I got to tell you that you got some strong points.
No, the only thing I want to speak about Social Security in the current state and why we have to be careful. Speaking from a union's perspective, because I am a union electrician with the IBEW, right? What COVID is doing to my union is forcing my older members to consider retiring sooner. They are eligible, and they are considering retiring sooner than usual, right? And I have to assume, I can only assume that in my industry, that in other industries, the same is going to happen. So when everyone starts retiring sooner than they're supposed to, and everyone becomes eligible, which I believe that they actually passed something a few months ago, changing the structure of how the Social Security is dispersed, it's going to get to the calamity point a lot sooner than you think. Things like COVID exponentially increase that possibility. Could you agree to that, or you disagree to that?
I agree.
I think it's not going to be anything that's going to end.
Okay.
That soon.
Right.
To me, that is something that someone who will not have any Social Security when they're of age to retire, has zero concern about. Zero, none, not a zero.
Okay.
Period.
Hey,
Do you have
hey,
parents?
It's
so
not even going to be around when I retire, so why should I give a damn? I do not.
Do you have
hey,
parents?
so let's
Do
thank
you-
the time. Let's thank the time that Closer gave us. Can we get a round of applause?
I want to thank you for
Thank you.
introducing me to this nickel. I've never heard of this company before, and I am in love with this truck because I'm a Ford person. So obviously, I like Ford. I'm country, so
Okay.
I always
Lisa.
love dudes who drive an
Okay.
F-250 or
Yeah.
higher. And this truck looks like a Ford, and it is sweet. It is beautiful. So I want to thank you because I never heard
Lisa.
of this company.
Lisa,
Hey,
you know
hey,
what
hey.
happened every time in a line, where they build vehicles. Every time a worker misses a piece, in a building line for vehicles, you get the tires and you get the doors and you get the steering wheel. Every time a worker misses a part, you know what they end up with? A Ford. So,
Oh my gosh.
That's not true.
Hey,
yeah.
so
My
No,
always
hey,
purchase
so
Ford
so
and
one second,
Ford
Diesel.
Hammer
I just want to say something. So you call him Closure?
yeah, his name is
Call me
Closer.
the
Yeah,
Closer.
call him Closer.
Okay, the Closer. Okay, so Closer. We do appreciate your feedback. We do appreciate your phone call, and we like to hear more of you in the channel. If that's possible. I mean, I don't know if in this forum, pretty much myself and Lisa, which is over there. We are kind of most of the times in the same cheetah music, and then we get this guy right here next to me, and then we just beat him to death. So it would be nice if you just show up, once, as much as you would like. I did enjoy
No, that's
the
my
conversation
brother.
with you.
Yeah, Diesel's
I
my
am
brother. We've known
staring
each
at
other.
this
We grew up
truck. I
together.
cannot stop staring.
I want to ask one.
I'm happy to hear the perspective.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I want to
I'm
ask.
happy to hear the perspectives
Yeah.
and give my opinion, and because I don't really lean in any particular direction, so I'm more central. So I take in a lot of what you've been saying. I've watched the last few shows, and
Okay.
I felt, I spoke to these, and I was just like, at some point I'm gonna call and we could just have a little debate, and not really a debate, but a conversation, because I like to sometimes we favor our opinions a little too much that it starts to blind the facts.
Yeah,
And that
Ricky.
doesn't mean, that's not a shot to anybody. That can happen to anyone. Sometimes we need somebody to bring us more to the center to see what's going on. I'd like to be that for you. I'd like to be that for the forum when I can. When I can.
So anyway, that was the Closure, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. We'd like to hear you back from you soon. Okay, thank you for calling. So Diesel, damn, that was a battle rather, man. I didn't knew you have some. You have some. You have something.
Hey, that's my man,
That's
Pots
your
and
man?
Pans. And Lisa
What does
didn't know
that
what that
even
is.
mean?
Pots and pans. What you talking about? What you know what pots and pans are, right?
Yeah.
We grew
Yeah.
up together. That's my best friend. My brother. We grew up together. We were talking about New York. I wanted him to bring that up,
Oh
but
Jesus Christ,
he
man.
got focused on this one, right?
Poor.
Out
Yeah,
New York.
He's actually in New York right now.
bro.
And
guy.
he was talking
So sorry
about
for him.
we had a great conversation about let me pull up my notes. You guys can talk real quick while I pull up my notes.
Sure. While he's doing that, what is the difference between battery electric and full cell electric, other than the price?
Battery electric and full cell electric. So once you have to put a battery on it, and the other one comes with a battery in already. Are you buying something online?
I'm looking at this Nicola Badger.
She's looking at the checks.
This
better not.
Nicola Badger is so beautiful.
So-
It is so beautiful.
So
let me tell you something about New York. Why
all right.
New York was hit so bad with COVID? You know, that's what I want to know. You know, because it seems to me that every city run by Democrats were hit by the COVID the most.
Oh my goodness! All right,
Chicago,
well,
California,
before we get
New
into-
York.
I
Is that a
strongly
fact?
believe that people only die because their government wanted them to. I've said that since the beginning.
So wait a minute. I got both of y'all saying that because it was a Democratic state that they're dying. Is that what you're saying?
There's almost 38,000 people die in New York. 38,000. I don't know what
Yes,
what's in common.
yes.
Are you serious?
I don't know what's in common, man. You know?
But
As a heart attack.
okay, all right. Look, first of all, New York is comprised of many immigrants. Okay,
It's still
They don't
Democratic.
have that much money.
Still Democrats.
What does that have to do with anything?
Okay, you know what? You guys are just
No, go ahead, man. What you want to talk?
Back up, someone call in.
Dude,
What
what you want
does
to talk
being
about?
an immigrant have to do with the government's?
I'm sorry, Lisa. This is not my
Rules.
special. This is not my specialty. My specialty is law enforcement.
You said immigrant,
plead
and
the
I'm
fifth.
trying to figure out what does being an immigrant have to do with the government.
mean, I'm thinking because I'm an immigrant, right? So I came to this country. right?
Everybody's an immigrant if you're in this country. If you're not the Indio country, you know, the real Indian from back then, you know, how you call it, the Cherokee, you're an immigrant to this country. I don't care how you call yourself.
No,
Okay.
I'm from North Carolina. My family's from North Carolina. So I don't know
He
what
said-
you're talking about.
Do you
said,
have
"I'm
Indian in your?
true
Oh, 1 second, no. I have Indian in my.
So-
I
I am
have.
North Carolinian, bro.
No, I have Indian in my body. Like how they call this other politician, Pocahontas. She got like 0.00014. I got more.
Pocahontas
Yeah.
is not
Pocahontas.
even her name. That's not
What's her
even
name?
her name.
I
Oh
thought
my
that was Senator
God.
Pocahontas. What's her name?
Hey, so
That's not even her name.
I'm looking
Her
at
name
the
is like
chat.
Makoto or something like that.
I'm looking at the chat.
Her name's like Makoto or something.
What's her name? Amy? You're right. Amy is saying it's because in every outbreak and zombie movie, New York is the first wiped out. Oh man.
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
so we're on New York, right? So like I said, I was having a conversation with Closer, all right? And we are all aware of the police being the funds being taken away from the police, right?
Mhm.
But that's just the story that they told us. The actual truth behind that is they didn't all right, so the police all got like fresh new vehicles, right? Like fresh new, brand new, I don't want to say Chargers, but whatever it is, all of them got the same. So that's where the money is being taken from. It's not being taken from to defund the police, meaning like to kick the police officers off the streets so they don't respond to accidents. No, it's the New York has been spending an exuberant, right? Isn't that Lisa's word? An exuberant amount of money on pointless stuff. And they're literally just checking them now. They're saying, you know what? We don't need this laser gun. So
That's
we're
not
going
true.
to we're going to
What
take
you
this
just
from
said
them.
is not true. They
What do you mean?
closed because they actually shut down an entire like I don't know what he's called, like team or
Kwame, call up. Hey,
department
Closer.
or
Call back up.
department. I forgot what it's called.
Let me tell you something
looking
about
it
New
up
York.
right now
You
so
know,
I
let
can
me
tell
tell
you
you
the
something
exact
about New
name.
York from somebody whose wife is from New York. You know, because my wife's from the Bronx. She used to live in one of those buildings that that you go and then there's like 75 people in one floor and then they have like 200 square feet on their house. Let me tell you about New York. You know, Times Square is a joke. Okay, if you're thinking about New York and you see these pictures, we got a phone call right here. I don't even gonna.
All right.
I'm not even
That's
gonna.
my man's. That's
I
my
don't-
man's
oh,
pots and pans. He's
he hung
calling up.
Yeah, did he hang up? One second. I'm checking. No, he hung up. Hey, call back,
Trying to
please.
find the,
So
back.
The
Times
name-
Square.
the name
What's
of
that?
that
What you find in Times Square?
department.
Fake monks. You seen the fake monks on Times Square?
Okay.
You seen it?
How do you know that they're fake?
Because they're fake. You see?
Stop
You
being
see?
so judgy.
Because at the end of the day, you see them, changing their clothes and going into their vehicles, doing crazy thing. What's the second thing that on Times Square that you get? You get people sending blank CDs. Are you gonna buy
Google? I can't.
You're gonna buy the latest Beyonce CD? No, the latest Nicki Minaj CD, and it's a blank CD.
Hey, you're not gonna be talking about New York, man.
Bro, New York's bad, man. I'm telling you, man. You know what's good about New York?
From Trinidad.
Treyway,
home state.
No, Treyway is he's the king of New York.
You're so iffy. You sometimes you're claiming Trinidad. Sometimes you're claiming to be an immigrant. Sometimes you're claiming to be New York is your house. Like, okay, you're just whatever it is that will benefit you in that current conversation.
So being from Trinidad and being an immigrant is the same thing. I am an immigrant of the United States. I am born in Trinidad.
You're New York. You claim that.
I was born in Trinidad, raised in New York. All right.
Uh-huh.
So, all right. So what I was saying, because since you can't prove any of your facts, I can prove mine.
Yes, I can. I'm still searching.
I can
for
prove
the
mine.
name of
I can prove mine, right?
Department.
So we had this big discussion, and Rick, I think, and because of what my man Closer we was talking about, he's
on the line right now.
Is there needs to be a financial liability, and you have to take it out of their pension when they violate something. There is no. I think Lisa was touching on it. If a police officer does something wrong, I think what she was saying that the state pays for it. Correct, Lisa?
That's correct.
I wasn't listening to you. I'm trying.
So, anyways, I'm gonna say that's what she says. The state pays for it, right? So, if I
pays for what? Wait, say it again. Don't say something I'm gonna say. Just repeat yourself.
No, you already disregarded me. It's all good. So it's just Rick. So like an Article 15, you know how the Article 15 is.
Correct.
Right? So if I do something wrong, you're going to take it out of my paycheck. Some sort of
street unit.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to take it out of my paycheck. So I'm more inclined to do the right thing. So that's what we were talking about. And that's what we think, besides training of the police force, okay, you also have to have that penalty, because if I think that my pension is going to get directly influenced from the bad activities that I'm doing, then I'm going to stop the bad activities. What do you think about that, Rick?
I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't think that the individual should pay. I don't, unless he's found guilty of committing that infraction, or we cannot just. If you give them training to deal with dogs, don't send them to a zoo to handle some lions and tigers, and then if you screw up, we're gonna you gotta balance it.
That's not really what we were saying.
It's called the anti-crime unit. That's what it's called. They shut that.
Yeah,
down.
those are.
Hold on, Closer's back.
Those are closed police. Those are closed police officers.
It also says that they are also back or slowing down anti-terrorist department. So it's not just the cars. They didn't just take money from cars.
Closer, go ahead. Tell me what you told me.
They actually are closing down specific departments.
So Closer's on the ground. He's actually in New York. He's been there for over 30 some odd years. Please tell me what's going on.
Wait a second. Do you want do we have music for everybody? Do we need to play? 6ix9ine? Go ahead. No, I probably don't like that.
Nah. I don't want to miss the point.
Closer, do you work in the police department?
The last point was, yeah, we're in the police department. We were discussing about the liability cause. It wasn't an injunction on every police officer. It was the idea of having liability insurance. And the infractions on the police officers would increase that liability insurance based on their behavior, so that there's a direct impact. As a police department, the impact would then go, should they actually get a judgment, out of fairness, they should pay a percentage, whatever that percentage would be, of the actual civil judgment that's dished out. What's happening now is when a police officer gets an injunction or gets a civil case against them, that goes on to the city. And what the city does is that they pooled all those funds, they pay it out to the individuals out of the city funds, then they create what I like to call police brutality bonds that they put out in the stock market, and they actually have to pay interest on that money, right? So if they have to pay out $100,000 per se. They have to put that in bond form. They pay it out, and they get the money. They have to pay that money back plus interest to pay that individual, and that becomes a burden on the city with zero effect to the police department. So what we were discussing was accountability in a financial form. If this police officer is bad and he has a history of being bad, his paycheck will be affected because his insurance rate will go up, much like if you're a bad driver. And as a community, if there's excessive bad behavior, as a community, they would correct that behavior. Because now, when they look at their pension or their annuities, it's not the amount that it's supposed to be, because they keep paying out these suits. So that was the way to tie in. Yeah, that was the way we were trying to tie in the behavior, because that's how we get treated in society. So to not put the burden on the city itself, but to have them share some of the accountability. That's what our conversation was about.
So I actually worked for a municipality, and I handled their claims, including police brutality. And because they are employees of that municipality, if the municipality continues to employ a bad cop, then yes, the municipality should be responsible. If the people do not want to continue to have taxes increase because the city keeps paying out bad employees that they keep on the payroll, then they need to change that with their vote.
They need to change that what?
With their vote.
With their vote.
No, that's ridiculous. Being a member of New
Why
York
is that ridiculous?
Years,
the municipality has the responsibility.
If
they want to continue to employ bad people, that is their fault.
Okay. No, it's our fault. Great. But for 30 years, through Dinkins, through every single mayor you could think of, through Republican, through Independent, through Democratic mayor, nothing has changed. Police reform has continued in the form of monies. Classes get taken. But every some odd years, we have an extreme incident, right? And nothing has changed. Right. So it's not really, which is another conversation we will happen. This is not really tied to a vote thing. It's more tied to a culture. And it's the culture of the police department. That's the issue. You can't really go to the victim and ask them to change something when they're the victim. You have to go to the person that's doing the victimizing and do actual reform there. Their idea of reform is just giving more money.
That's not true. That's all kinds of laws that are started by victims, like Kate's Law, your Miranda rights. There's lots of things that start with the victim. So
but there's broken window policies. There's stop and frisk. There's laws that also have negative effects as well.
So who came with the stop and frisk?
That was actually
Rudy Giuliani.
Bloomberg. No, it was Bloomberg.
That was Bloomberg.
Oh, Bloomberg?
That was Bloomberg. Yeah.
He's a whatever.
He's in New York. He's the mayor of New York.
But as far as for whether he's Democrat or Republican,
mayor of New York for 3 terms.
It just depends on the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, he's whatever temperature. That's why those affiliations don't really matter. You know.
He did pretty good.
But it does because if you sit there and you press your local representatives that this is what you need, and ultimately somebody's going to be like, I need to run on this because this is what people keep yelling about, and then that's going to be their platform, and people are going to vote for him. That's how laws get changed. That's how laws get made. And it does happen, and it does start from victims because there are numerous laws that are named after the victim. Why? Because their families fought for it.
And I agree. It sounds good on paper, but it hasn't worked. So the
has anybody done that? I'm sorry. Has anybody done that?
Plenty of people have done it.
I have never heard of anybody.
Plenty of laws have been on the books.
I've heard of people just complaining about.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, this is the
because
thing.
there's always something new to complain about.
There's always something new to complain about. Nothing's changed. There's something that I don't get from New York.
Then why don't you run for office? Why don't you take the initiative?
I could run for office,
and I could pray for those changes, and I could do those changes. But when I have to go up against Pat Lynch, who's the head of the PBA, he's not going to agree to those changes. When I have to go against
What is
people
the
that
PBA?
with your like thinking and other like thinking. PBA is a Police Benevolent Association. It's the union or the gang, depending on what side of the fence you're on, that the police belong to. It's who they answer to in the New York City region. He's the guy.
So
that
in
you'll
all of
see on
these
TV
protests,
when
is anybody protesting at his office?
people are protesting at his office, people are protesting at one police plaza. What does that do?
Well, this is what
Protesting doesn't
I've
bring
never
change.
heard of him
Action
or the PBA.
Yeah,
Ever.
because
You're not from
you're
New
not
York.
with New
So
York.
you can't speak for me.
New York
speak
is,
from what I'm-
is national news. Anything
What?
that goes on New York
It
is national
is.
news.
But he just
can look
told
him
you
up.
what
I
the
didn't make him
PBA
up.
is, and you didn't know what
I
it
didn't-
was.
I didn't
So
make
he
him up
just
out of
told
thin
you
air.
what it is. It's a real thing.
Because my thing are people protesting there.
Yeah,
Are people
but you
making
see,
the
thing is,
PBA
we
an
can
issue?
protest.
I have never heard of it.
PBA,
So are
The
people
PBA has always
really
been an
making
issue.
the
The
PBA an issue?
the PBA is what's protecting these officers when they go to court. PBA is what's basically restricting change. The PBA leverage their vote and hold the mayor in handcuffs every time he makes a decision against them. That's the PBA. When you
That's
see
really weird,
when you-
considering that the current mayor is making drastic changes with the police department. And
if
I
you
do
actually
mean
look at
drastic
our press
changes.
conferences, every time he made a statement against the police union, he rebutted that statement the next day because the PBA put him under fire because they put him in office. That's another thing that we have to
Nonetheless,
change.
he
We
shut
have to
down.
stop.
He shut down an anti-crime unit. He shut it down. He's like, "F you, PBA. I'm shutting this unit down." And then he
No,
also
actually, the
rolled back
police
on
commissioner,
anti-terrorist department.
the police,
He's like, "F you, PBA.
the
I'm
police
rolling back to the
commissioner,
anti-terrorist department." So
the
clearly,
mayor-
this particular
mayor-
mayor is not afraid of the PBA.
he's not afraid of the PBA, and he didn't shut down those units. All they do is kind of just reclassify them and call them something else.
Thank
you
you.
don't shut down plainclothes police officers.
Do you have any evidence
don't
to that?
shut down
Because I
plainclothes-
haven't seen that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go
You
ahead,
want me to
talk
go
about your
outside right now?
evidence about
And walk out the block?
Sure.
when the
Then
riots
what is
happened.
the new name of the anti-crime unit?
No, hold up. He has firsthand experience. There was a riot in New York.
He's not a police officer, so what?
He had
firsthand
firsthand
experience does he have?
experience.
What is the new name of the anti-crime unit?
Are you a police
I
officer?
don't need to know the name of it. I don't need to be classified by
You
a
don't
name
need to
to
know the
know that
name
it
of it,
didn't go
but you
away.
just know it exists.
No, because I didn't
You
know,
just know
living in
it
it, I
exists.
didn't know it was called the anti-police union or police unit. It wasn't called that. They don't walk around with flags saying that that's what they are.
It's
They're plainclothes police
anti-crime
officers
unit,
that walk in,
and
and
it
they
made
drive around in
huge
unmarked,
news in
unmarked
June when
vehicles.
it got shut down.
In unmarked vehicles, right? They are dressed in plain clothes, and they assimilate into society to try to be normal. This is what the anti-crime unit
Yep.
does. But the anti-crime unit has always been here.
Correct.
It's always been here.
Okay, but
And
it's shut
never
down
going
now,
anywhere.
so it's shut down
No,
now
they didn't.
because
No,
this
it's not.
mayor is not afraid of the PBA.
Yes, he is. He is.
He's making drastic changes to the police department.
That's not a drastic
How
change.
does that make him afraid of the PBA?
How is that a drastic? Like, how can you speak on a drastic change if you don't know the percentages of the effect of what it is? You're just saying it because it sounds good. It sounds like it's something spectacular, but it's really doing nothing.
I'm sorry, shutting down an entire unit that claims to be
It's not a
extremely
unit.
successful does sound like a
Where's the
drastic
success
change.
rate? Where's the
Oh,
statistics to prove that?
Remind you,
How
I
can you
did
prove
air
success
quotes.
I'm asking. You're saying it as if it's
That's what
fact, so I'm
they,
asking,
because
where's the
that's what
statistics?
they allege. I'm not saying I
Lisa
believe
did a
course they're
that.
Google
gonna say that.
search. She said she did a
Of
Google
course they're gonna
search.
say
Said
that.
Google
Actually, do
told
you
her
know
all
that
the
I
facts.
couldn't even find it on Google because Google, they like to only give you things that they want to give. I actually had to go to a Yahoo search to find the article about them
It's the
shutting
same
down
thing.
that.
It's still a search.
It's not the
still a
same
search.
thing because I couldn't find it on Google, so I had to go to Yahoo to find it. So it's not the same thing.
All right. So he's giving you firsthand
from-
experience from a person.
He
in
hasn't
New
given
York.
me any firsthand experience. I told him that it has been shut down, and he says, "Well, it's been changed. Changed to what? Because I haven't seen any
They
evidence
change the
to
name
that.
of it all the time.
To what? What is it?
So where did the officers go? If it got shut down, where did the officers go?
I don't know. I don't employ them. All I know is
Okay.
it's shut down.
So what did they
You're
go?
telling me it's not
When you're the
shut down, it's
detective
called
third
something else.
grade,
But yet you
when you're
can't
a
tell me
detective,
what it's been changed
first,
to.
second, third,
And I have not seen
when you're a
any
detective,
information that
and what you
says
do, and you're in
changed
an
to it. So this is just your
okay, in an
speculation.
anti-crime unit, and you're a detective of anti-crime, you think that they move you to Texas? What they do is that they shut it
I
down
don't
to
know
appease
what
the
they do.
public.
I don't know what they
Here's
do.
what they do.
I'm not sitting
Let me
here
tell you what they do.
guessing or
Well, let me
assuming
tell you what they
or
do,
making
because I live there.
speculation.
What they do is
You live there,
that
but you
they
don't
change
work
the name
there.
of the unit.
But you don't work
They
there.
disband.
You live there, but you
But I live
don't work
amongst
there.
them. Okay. All right. They
But you don't work there.
disband. They
You
do this
do
in
not
everything.
work there.
They do this in everything, by the way. They disband the unit, right? They do it in all forms of business, in all forms of unions, in all forms of anything. And it's just going to sound different, but this is what they do. They're going to disband it. They're going to put all the officers back into the general population. They're going to reform it and then call it something else and bring it back. That's what's going to happen. And if I
So-
have
and
my
you're
iPad in
only
front of you,
guessing.
I must
You
say,
don't
hold
work
up.
there. You're making these assumptions.
Hold on.
You don't have a new name for it.
I'm not
There's
making
no
that
articles
So-
I
or
just don't have-
in-
I don't
any
have a-
information about that.
Lisa,
That is
Lisa,
your
I don't
you're
have
assumption.
you're
I
a
don't
historian.
have an iPad in front of me.
You're a historian,
I
Lisa.
don't have an iPad in
And
front of me to pull up these names right now, but it
as
has been
far
done.
as far as being a historian, I know personally. Ricky also knows this too. They disband a lot of units in the military, okay, or deactivate them and then reactivate them and name them a different unit. So this is nothing that is new. And you have to
That's
be
all I'm saying.
open-minded.
Saying that, but you're
You
not giving
have
me
to be
evidence to do that.
open-minded
I am saying that.
to the perspective, because
I am saying
he
that.
literally said that they will disband a police department, what unit, whatever secret terrorism, right? They'll give them a reform, which is pretty much some training, right? PowerPoint or whatever, and then they'll reopen and they'll call them a different name. This has been going on because I know firsthand 3-4 Cav, which was a cavalry unit in the United States Army, 25th Infantry Division out of Schofield Barracks. It has a history, and it has a history of deactivation and reactivation. Also, the MP units that are also stationed in Germany, that's the same thing. So when they get in trouble or when they find that they are the lower part of the chopping block, so meaning when the big army says, we don't really need this unit's not really doing anything, let's go ahead and disband it, they'll do that. But then they'll bring the unit back when they see there's a need for that unit again, and they'll bring them back in the different.
Let me add something right here that may, I don't know too much about this organization in New York, but I mean, on the big picture, how leaders are looking at these units or departments, whatever the case may be, even in the military. You have Department of the Army. They have a mission, and they're trying to execute that mission through association of commanders, association of different departments. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that same thing happened with the police, with this police group. If they don't need that mission, they're gonna disband or they're gonna close that department. But then those individuals, they will go to another organization. Yeah. But then once you go to the other organization, you are not still doing, if everybody's doing what they're supposed to do the right way, you should not be conducting the mission. You should be doing the mission for the new organization, which should be different because you're not longer needed, and then they only activate you when your specific mission is needed. I don't know. I don't live in New York. I don't work over there. Lisa, you brought up one point right here, okay? And then I wanna bring it up here. You are telling the guests you live there, but you don't work there. What are you meaning with that? And what is the defense that he's gonna have to you? Go ahead, Lisa, please.
Because he's saying a lot of things that he's assuming, guessing, believes to be, but that doesn't make it true. Unless you can, unless you have some sort, if you have a copy of the budget, if you have a list of all the departments, I mean, you're just,
I'm doing it
those are
based
just
off of history
words.
because I do
You
have
can't
that.
provide any proof to this fact other than I live there. Well, shoot, I live in Virginia. I don't know everything that they do. I don't have a copy of their budget. I don't have, a list of departments that
I
they
do have
have.
a copy of
Just
the
because
budget.
I live here doesn't mean anything.
Okay,
It's not evidence.
perfect.
So let's just dismiss
What's
me
your
living
answer?
Oh, I'm just going to dismiss me living here. This has been a history. So I don't have the details for this particular budget, but I've seen it done on numerous occasions. And the next time, I will gather that data and
Can't
present
name
it.
another name.
Because they call it something else. Today is purple, tomorrow is yellow. It's the same thing.
So what was it before?
So at the end of the day,
Give me a name.
Huh?
Give me a name. What was it before?
the new unit is going to be called?
No. What was
what are you
the
talking about?
anti-crime unit before it was the anti-crime unit?
It was probably, they changed so much, I don't even pay attention to that, to be honest.
Right. So you
But I
don't
will
have
get
any
you that
real
data.
evidence to the effect.
I'll get you the data that you're asking for. I'm guaranteeing you that I'm going to get you the data that you're asking.
You have to be prepared.
And after that,
You have to be prepared. If you come here, you're gonna have Lisa Escovedo, man. I'm telling you.
I'm a very factual person. I don't like assumptions.
I didn't think that you stated any facts.
Very factual person.
I don't think that you stated many facts, but I will present the facts to you.
She is. I think.
Hold on. What fact didn't I say?
You're saying that
because I'm pretty confident that the anti-crime unit was shut down.
According to Yahoo.
Okay.
That's a fact.
According to many articles I found, I just was telling you that
all right.
Google wouldn't tell me anything, so I had to go to Yahoo. So.
And how did that affect New York City? Is the article saying that there was a surge in killings because the unit was shut down in 2 weeks? Is that what it's saying?
No.
That's the same article you could find every summer for the past 20 summers in New York City.
No. I just told you no. It had nothing to do with the crime rate.
What does it say?
This is merely about the budget. This is only about the budget.
So how is it affecting the crime rate then?
So final thoughts?
No,
final thoughts,
these articles have nothing to do with the crime rate. You're adding stuff in.
So why is it a negative?
That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
Let's get our final thoughts.
Try to save your point.
All right, yeah, let's get that final thought.
So what's going to happen is Closer's going to bring the information, but I wanted to bring Closer in this forum, so he can tell his firsthand experiences of what's going on. And we thank you once again, brother. I thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you, Lisa, for the banter. We enjoy everything.
This is good.
So let's go to the next caller. I think someone else.
One second. I got to ask you something. So we've been talking about government in New York, and I'm looking at the governors in New York since 1975. It's been a democratic state.
Yeah.
Since 1975. So what?
Okay. I'm in New York City. So we're actually speaking about New York City.
What else? State. I'm talking about New York State.
I'm talking about New York City. Because New York State and New York City is like, I don't know. New York City is the financial capital of the world, and New York State is just New York State.
Yeah, Cuomo is
two totally different.
Cuomo is your guy right now, yeah?
Cuomo is my governor.
Okay.
De Blasio is my mayor.
So before Cuomo, you got Patterson, and before that, you got Spitzer, and before that, Pataki. But
Cuomo is not in charge of the New York City Police Department.
Okay.
The mayor of New York is.
Okay. I got to tell you, if I'm calling this show, anybody out there, if you're calling this show, you better be prepared. Because Lisa is right there. Gathering facts, she got that Yahoo link, the special link.
Next time I might have my iPad in front of me.
Oh, you want to have?
Please do.
I'm gonna be prepared. Yeah.
Hey, you got to Lisa. God damn it, Lisa.
Fine.
Lisa be spanking y'all.
I'm telling you.
I'm still searching for the actual budget itself.
It's all good, Lisa.
That's what I want.
Hey, you got to show
I want the
Wednesday.
actual budget.
You got to show
Wednesday. Call the dogs off.
Let's do. Hey, anyway.
$6 billion, $1 billion defunded. Or I don't like the word defunded because that's a catchword.
So transportation, because that's what y'all were talking about, cars. So
transportation is the NTA.
It was
How much?
The vehicles for the police department.
Okay.
It looks like it was 228, and for 2020, it 217.
million?
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with transportation.
Oh no, there's new vehicles, there's tasers, there's false police claims and classes. There's plenty of other things that we could just bring up, but you have to be here to see it. But I'm gonna find it in financial forms for you, because I want you to see. Well, we're gonna find the budget. We're gonna see how it was defunded by $1 billion.
I have
$6 billion.
I have the fiscal
6 to 5.
strategy for 2020 to 2029.
We'll
They
discuss
strategize that
I got
part,
I got a question. You know, I've been playing behind the screen. You know, behind me, the PVA main webpage. You know, and then I don't see any diversity in this page. You know, all I see is
There isn't.
it's Italian,
There isn't many.
white, and the other one.
That's
1 second. There's
that's
gonna be
correct.
one. There's gonna be one black guy right there in a second. You know, no, he's not.
There's
He's
always gonna be
not.
one.
He Puerto Rican. I'm telling you, he Puerto Rican. I seen that mustache many times. I'm telling you guys. Nah. Let's wrap it up, guys. Let's come back
right, cool.
to the same to the argument on Wednesday. Lisa, I'm telling you. So what's gonna be the subject for Wednesday, Lisa? Are we gonna talk about PVA in New York? I don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
I don't know. I can tell you that
this
mic
is
sounds
I don't think
good.
we should spend the entire time on it. We should just secure
I don't
a couple
know.
of minutes to it.
How about
so we can
another
discuss
alien
the
episode?
No.
Hey, Amy saying that the black guy on the picture behind is Dominican. Anyway, guys. Any final thoughts? Let me start with.
Let's start with our guest.
What's the name, bro?
It switched around.
Closer.
Closer.
Let's start with closer.
Closer. You need to get. Let's get closer. We're gonna get you
Final
on video
thoughts, Closer.
next time.
Go
We're
ahead.
gonna get you on video, by the way.
Yeah, you gotta tell me how to set that up. I don't got a problem with that. I just gotta go get the stuff, I guess.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
Dang. I'm sorry, I was looking
I
at the
enjoyed
budget.
speaking to you guys. Yeah, the budget. We'll get to that. Numbers is numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I'm happy that you allow me on your platform to talk about my perspective, some opinions, and we could go back and forth. And I like the fact checking because it keeps us all in check. You know. Thank you, Mark, for reaching out and having the conversation with me. Thank you, Rick, for having me, and Lisa. We'll talk later. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, and that was Closure right there. Again, for the second time, gonna give him a good, send out. So thank you so much for being part of the show. Any final thoughts, guys?
Lisa.
Any final thoughts?
They took $59,000 away from
Oh,
the
geez.
anti-terrorist unit. Oh my gosh, y'all are gonna get blown up.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, Amy, come on, Amy. Thank you so much, Amy. Sending that donation right there our way,
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. Hey, what happened? You got the microphone?
Hey, so Lisa, you got the mic. Go ahead.
Put in your spot. Go ahead.
What's your final thoughts, Lisa?
Oh, thank you guys for coming out. And if you're new to the show, subscribe and share. And those who are coming back, please share with all of your friends. And have a lovely evening.
Hey, so Rick, or you want me to go?
I go. Let me. This is your show. So you should end today. I just want to say. I want to say to everybody who's watching this right here. Okay, I'm gonna end up, with a little bit of music. I want to say everybody out there watching the show, don't forget in November to vote and vote for one person only, Donald J. Trump, your president. There we go. Yes. Okay. Now go ahead, Lisa. You want any music?
Hey, so I don't want no music. Hey, this is what I'm dealing with. I love my co-host. I love the topic. I love you guys calling in. Amy, thanks for being active. Daniel, I see you. Heavy Water, I want to give a special shout out to you. And then, of course, Ridge, I see you out there. Hey, I understand these are trying times. Just keep it going. I'm struggling too, but we're here together. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Leaving you with the king in New York, the king on New York.